Hey guys, today I'm going to be installing some Xrox rock sliders on my dual cab Hilux. This was meant to be a trip up to Morton Island, but due to lockdown we are now stuck at home. So I'm going to take this time, spend the day, spend the weekend if I have to, getting these rock sliders set up, and I'll take you through the process. Let's get started. So first up, what I've done is I have taken all my nuts and bolts out and I have split them up on the table here. I've got the left side and the right side, and in the middle I've got these instructions. So I'm basically just going to follow this through step by step, take my time. I've got myself some bits of wood here which I'm going to use on top of the crates just to chalk it up to get that right height, but as you can see it's almost at the height that it needs to be at, and I'll just play around with that as I go. I have spent a bit of time previous to this trying to build my own sliders. I spent a couple of weekends out in a mate's garage and it just was so time consuming, and I don't think I quite got the skills to get it done, so I've gone ahead and bought these. But we'll get these on today, and yeah, I'll take you through that process.
We're going to start on the driver's side of the car first. As you can see, where this is going to line up, we're going to have the bolts, U-bolts coming through around here, so we can see that there is a few lines in the way which we will need to move to get those U-bolts in. And same up on this side, we will need a U-bolt around here and another one just on the other side of here, so we will have to get this moved out of the way temporarily and then put back in. As for the front, it is should be just as simple as taking these ones out and putting this one on, I would imagine. So let's get these lines out of the way here. So I'm actually going to be removing this altogether, because that is pretty much where my U-bolt is going to need to sit. So they will now sit like that. This one I will probably just end up cable tying back down, but we'll move along to the back of the car now. Now for this back section, there is a couple of things we need to avoid. You can see this one is obviously in the way. We'll have to unclip here, and if you can see up the back there is some more lines with another clip in place, so we'll just have to sort of remove these and get those U-bolts in around it. It was a bit tricky to film while I got these up there, but I have managed to sort of squeeze them in. What I've done on the front here is I have just marked with a pencil where they need to line up. So this one's quite on track. This one, however, we just need to unclip this one up here, which I'll just do with a flathead screwdriver, and then move that U-bolt across so it lines up in the right spot. Alright, so I have got the U-bolts in now, and I've had to remove the clip that held onto the wiring harness here, and the rest of it we should be able to just sort of move around as we get to it. Gonna now get these front bolts out, and then we'll try and line the rock sliders up and get them temporarily fitted for now and see how we go.
The boat never failed.
Alright, now we'll get these rock sliders back on the crates, we'll chock it up with the wood, and we'll try to get it to the height that it needs to be at, and we'll get it fitted.
Woo!
At this back section here, I'm just gonna get some of the nuts on, just a temporary fit. So you always put the flat washer
up against the bracket and the spring washer up against the bolt, and we'll just get all 4 of those on just as temporary. So for this section in the middle, I have undone this clamp, and there's another one that was here I've removed. So I'm now just going to pull these lines out a bit and get these U-bolts set up in the slider bracket. I've only got them on finger tight. Hello.
Hello. I'm coming down.
Alright, we'll just do those top 2
Hello.
and we'll move on to the
Hello.
tighten it up that end piece.
Hi.
Hey. So one thing to keep in mind when doing your U-bolts is to always go top to bottom and keep swapping back and forth so you don't put too much strain on one side. I just want to make sure that you can dispense that evenly across the bolt. So just go from the top back down to the bottom and just keep swapping until you've got a nice tightness across both of them. It's always good to swap over to the other side as well and give that evenness across both sides as well. Alright, driver's side is done and she is bolted in nice and tight. So we'll move on to the passenger side, start getting that one fixed up. So again, just remove these 2 front bolts and then we'll look at setting the U-bolts up. So I've set all my U-bolts up now, get the nuts, the washers back on, and then put those bolts back through that front section and tighten her up. It is Sunday morning now. I spent yesterday editing the video together and realized I got to the end of it and I hadn't done an outro for it, so
You're dumb.
I gotta say I felt kind of stupid, but guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. It's kind of my first DIY besides the oil change video miles back, but if you guys have watched this and you haven't seen the other videos, get online because I do a lot of four-wheel drive adventures and that's sort of what my main focus is. But I hope this thing was eye-opening or gave you guys some ideas and helped for installing your own rock sliders. So if you get some on, let me know how they go and leave a comment below. Cheers.
Hi.